What's up? What's up? You are hanging with the beast once again. Real happy to come back at you with a show. Trying to bang out episodes as often as I can because I just love doing this. My brain never stops. My brain never sleeps. Even when I'm sleeping, my brain is always going. Hence, be why I have to take a running start into the wall and knock myself on my ass. That way, I will be subdued. But that being said, coming back at you today with another cool episode. What I'm doing today is a little something new. I'd like to do a different lineup today. So today, what I will be doing is talking about songs, 10 specific songs that have phenomenal lyrics. And from time to time, what I'm going to do from now on is have episodes that are dedicated to 10 songs with phenomenal lyrics. And of course, this list can go on all day and night. This isn't done in any order, shape, or form, but it's just 10 songs that I really love that I feel have phenomenal lyrics, all from the 90s, of course. And by the way, just coming into the show with that intro, you obviously heard a wonderful song with some tremendous lyrics there. We'll get to that a bit later, but let's start this list off, shall we? Now, of course, everyone has their pick of what songs have amazing lyrics that they really love. And what better time than the 90s to be filled with just nothing but catalogs and catalogs of wonderful amounts of songs with amazing lyrics, some in which we still don't understand, some in which have meanings, some in which don't have meaning, but nonetheless, even if we don't understand them, we still love them very much. So, that being said, I want to start this list off with a song that I've always really liked a lot from a band that was all kick ass, all in your face, no joke whatsoever. If this band was a MMA fighter, I would feel really bad for the opponent, or if they were a boxer, they'd be nothing. Have a nonstop engine filled with diesel fuel. And I'm talking about, of course, the great Rage Against the Machine. And the song I'm talking about is Sleep Now in the Fire. Look at these lyrics, man. The world is my expense, the cost of my desire. Jesus bless me with its future, and I protect it with fire. So raise your fists and march around. Don't dare take what you need. I'll jail and bury those committed and smother the rest in greed. Crawl with me into tomorrow. I'll drag you to your grave. I'm deep inside your children. They'll betray you in my name. Holy shit. You could always depend on Zach De La Roca to have some very interesting lyrics. Always, I think that there was a meaning behind him when he wrote his music because he was an extremely intelligent guy who, had a very interesting outlook on all things, especially history, and had a deep knowledge of it. So it was always interesting to see how he turned a lot of that into wonderful songs. Another part of the song that is just, you know, what a kick-ass verse right here. The lie is my expense, the scope with my desire. The party blessed me with its future, and I protect it with fire. I am the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria, the noose and the rapist, the field's overseer, the agent of Orange, the priest of Hiroshima, the cost of my desire. Sleep now in the fire. And of course, there's that amazing Tom Morello, that during that, which always just enhances the song so much better. But again, I was kind of mesmerized by these lyrics really early on when I had the album. When I do have the album, when I first bought the album. And he names so many different things from history going on in there. The Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria, obviously the three ships that Columbus sailed on over, I guess, with his party and whatnot. And then Agent Orange in Vietnam, the priests of Hiroshima, obviously World War II. So again, they always seem to be a band that their lyrics always kind of revolved around a lot of different issues, which always kind of made it very interesting. So that is definitely number one, first song on my list. And again, as you know, I am not doing this in any way, shape, or form. I'm just doing this, from I guess just picking them off the top of my head, just thinking about 10 songs that I really, that I really still enjoy a lot, that I listen to always. These are songs too, off like my personal my personal list that I'll have, whether it's Spotify or my YouTube list that I always go to. So the next song coming up, of course, is an all-time classic. Anybody who has a brain, who was alive in the 90s, obviously knows this song from the opening intro. And if you don't, I really feel bad for you. You need to get slapped with a tire iron. No, I'm just kidding. One of the greatest songs of the 90s. In fact, if the 90s were to be defined by one song, this would definitely be it. Again, I was always mesmerized by the lyrics when I was a lot younger. And I still think about getting these lyrics tattooed somewhere on my body because I need more ink. And I'm talking about two parts, two sentences in particular, and I'll probably give this song away by just saying that. Where you going for tomorrow? Where you going with the mask I found? I think that would look absolutely sexy, tattooed all the way down from my shoulder across my tricep and down. I don't know, something about that's always sat in my mind. I got to be me, and you got to be you. But of course, I'm talking about Plush from Stone Temple Pilots. Again, one of the, in my opinion, greatest bands of all time. One of the best and most memorable bands of the '90s, and one of the most memorable songs of the '90s. It never gets old, and these lyrics have always had a special place in my heart. And I feel at times a wasted go. So where you going till tomorrow? And I see that these are lies to come. So would you even care? Where you going for tomorrow? Where you going with the mask I found? And I feel when the dogs begin to smell her. Well, she smell alone. I remember being a lot younger, singing those two lines. When the dogs begin to smell her, will she smell alone? I remember the teachers turning around and looking at me. I thought that was great. That's their problem. And I feel so much depends on the weather. So is it raining in your bedroom? Man, that's nice. And I see that these are the eyes of disarray. Would you even care? Come on now, son. What are we talking about here? We're talking about one of the best songs ever written, one of the best songs in total. I don't give a shit if it's the year 3000 and 122, whatever the hell may be. And the Jetsons are here and Cactus's breakdance, whatever the case is going on. This will always stand out as one of the greatest songs that will always be. So Plush, Stone Temple Pilots, off the list, or on the list for that matter. And on the subject of Stone Temple Pilots, the next song is a Stone Temple Pilots song as well. And everybody will know it's from probably the greatest movie soundtrack of all time, from one of the greatest and most memorable movies of all time, which cannot ever be remade. And I'm talking about, of course, The Crow. And the song I'm talking about is Big Empty. And you know that it was from this movie, of course. Listen, I was always mesmerized by these words. I remember, like I said before, buying the album. I wore this tape out so bad it wasn't even funny from just rewinding this song. Driving faster in my car, falling farther from just what we are. Smoke a cigarette and lie some more. These conversations kill, falling faster in my car. And of course, the best part, which never gets old. Time to take her home. Her dizzy head is conscious laden. Time to take her ride. It leaves today no conversation. Time to take her home. Her dizzy head is conscious laden. Time to wait too long. To wait too long. To wait too long. And then the best part, I think, is too much walking, shoes worn thin, too much tripping, and my soul's worn thin. Time to catch a ride. He leaves today. His name is what it means. Too much walking, shoes worn thin. Ah, man, did it just fit into that movie, The Crow. And this is just like pure genius, in my opinion, from Scott Weiland and Stone Temple Pilots. His lyrics, again, from an artist that always had a lot of meaning behind them. I would like to think so. I don't know where the lyrics, the genesis of these lyrics came from per this song, but whatever it was one of their most phenomenal hits of all time, and it just never gets old. And of course, it's that great scene in The Crow where you see, what's his name there? Who's that dude? Skank and all those bad guys, right? Riding in the car. They're like tearing ass down the highway in that supercharger car. And, phenomenal movie, man. I could watch that movie over and over and over and over and over again. It never gets old. One of my favorite villains, Michael Wincott, as the almighty Top Dollar. Yeah, man. So, Big Empty on the list, on the Beasts list for sure. And moving on Let's see what we have in store. All right. Listen, this next song is a classic, if you ask me. This next song again holds a special place in my heart because it reminds me of 1995. I believe it was the fall and autumn of 1995. Somewhere around that time. Reminds me of high school, St. Francis Prep, playing football, playing basketball, trying to figure out what the hell is going on in life. And it just reminds me of hearing the song on the radio all the time. Still trying to figure out what the hell he was talking about in the song, but nevertheless, it's one of their greatest songs of all time. Um, Off the album Rearview Mirror, I'm talking about Yellow Ledbetter by the great Pearl Jam. And you want to laugh. I still can't get these lyrics right when I sing this song, but nonetheless, I always blast this and keep this on no matter what. It takes me right back to that friggin' time, bro. Unsealed on a porch, a letter sat. Then you said, I want to leave it again. Once I saw her on a beach of weathered sand, and on the sand, I want to leave it again. Yeah, on a weekend, want to wish it all away. Yeah. And they called, and I said that I want what I said. And then I call out again. That's friggin' awesome. And the reason, or to leave her calm, I know. I said, I don't know whether I'm the boxer or the back. I love it. Love it, man. Um, Want to laugh really quick. Those of you who know me know I have a very interesting sense of humor, I guess you would say. And my brother-in-law, well, he's really not my brother-in-law. He's my brother, Chris Ferrano, who is a Pearl Jam psychopath. Him and I have an inside joke about the song. You all know that part in the song right before you hear that great guitar solo where Eddie Vedder goes, "Make me cry." I used to make Chris laugh by saying, imagine if that guitar solo was my mother playing. And if you know my mother, her playing the guitar, just think about that for a second. I have no friends. What can I say? But again, um, listen, man, phenomenal song. I don't know what the hell he's talking about in the song. I don't know what the song's about. Uh, I I heard it once, but I couldn't remember. Someone had kind of explained this to me, but perhaps I don't know. I wasn't listening, or I forgot. So if you do know what this song's about to some extent, please let me know. Nonetheless, one of my favorite Pearl Jam songs of all time. In fact, I think it is my favorite Pearl Jam song. Um, and therefore it definitely made my list. Moving on to the next one. All right, so I got to set the stage a little bit. This song again holds a special place in my heart because it brings me right back to my favorite movie of all time, which is The Immaculate True Romance. Okay, my favorite movie of all time, hands down by far. It cannot be touched. It cannot be beaten. Of course, written by the always great Quentin Tarantino, directed by the late great Tony Scott. And what a kick-ass cast it had. Come on now, son. Come on now, son. What are we talking about? Christian Slater, the magnificent and beautiful Patricia Arquette, who I was on the set of a movie called The Wannabe. It was the only time I played as an extra, although I didn't really. Well, I threw some lines in there for myself. You can actually see it quickly in one scene, but she was the female lead in the movie, and we were filming a scene in the courtroom in the Bronx. And I saw my chance and took it. Ran up to her. She was with her mother. I must have looked like a raving lunatic. And I said, Miss Arquette, I'm such a huge fan, blah, 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 what most fanboys do say. And I said, I just want you to know I could not let the opportunity go by without taking a picture with my favorite, but with the actress who played my favorite character of all time, Miss Alabama Worley. And she smiled, that same smile, that beautiful smile that she has. And she said, that is one of so sweet, such so kind to you. She took a picture with me. I know, total fanboy. But yeah, again, who else is in this film? Let's talk about James Gandolfini, very young, way before Tony Soprano, probably one of his best performances, hands down. The great Christopher Walken, the great Dennis Hopper, the great Samuel L. Jackson, who's great in anything and everything he does. My God, who else is in this movie? Everybody's in this movie, man. Come on now. Come on now, you know who I'm thinking about too. One of my favorite actors of all time, one of his greatest roles of all time, the great Gary Oldman as Drexel Spivey. Listen, the best 10 to 15 minutes what any actor has ever been or portrayed as a character. I mean, this song brings me back to that film. The great Brad Pitt, especially in that scene as Floyd the Stoner. And you'll know that this song is playing in that scene when the mob guys knock on the door and Floyd is high as hell, and I'm talking about outshined by the great Soundgarden. Oh man, does this song hold a special place in my heart? The lyrics have always been kick-ass. It's one of like the first few songs that I just learned really by heart. Well, I got up feeling so down. I got off being sold out. I kept the movie rolling, but the story's getting old now. Oh yeah. Well, I just looked in the mirror and things aren't looking so good. I'm looking California and feeling Minnesota. Ah. And then, of course, there's so now you know who gets mystified. Show me the power, child. I'd like to say that I'm down on my knees today. Yeah, it gives me butterflies, gives me away till I'm up on my feet again. Funny story about this song. No bullshit, swear to God. I saw Soundgarden at Jones Beach. One of the only times I saw Soundgarden. I forgot how many years ago it was, but this song started to play, and the gentleman in front of me was with his wife, and I grabbed him by the back of the neck, and I just started shaking him, shaking him, shaking him. And his girlfriend turned around with a terrifying look on her face, and I picked my head up because I had it down. I said, I'm sorry, I just have to shake him. And he just shrugged his shoulders and let me do it. Wonderful. Ah, best part of this song, in my opinion. Will someone let the dogs out? They'll show you where the truth is. The grass is always greener where the dogs are shitting. Oh, yeah. Come on now. Everyone knows that this is just like prime Soundgarden, one of their best songs by far. You know it's going to be on my list. Again, it's one of the it's one of the many Soundgarden songs that I will always be blasting every time it comes on. It just seems like by rite of passage, I have to play it. I can't pass it up. You know, it never gets too old. Moving on. Okay, so this band already made my list earlier, but that's okay. And this is my list, and if you don't like it, you could have frozen waffles for all I care. No, yeah, this is one of my favorite songs by them. Um, Again, the lyrics are just absolutely kick ass. The sound is absolutely kick ass, and the guitar solo is that whoa, 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 whoa. It kind of reminds me of I want to say not Jimmy Page making the guitar talk. Who was it? Was it Jeff Lynne making the guitar talk or something like that? I'd have to ask my older brother Christian. He would know that. Christian, who the hell made the guitar talk? Used to make me listen to that shit as a kid. I thought it was the trip. But anyway, that's what it always reminds me of. I'm talking about Calm Like a Bomb from Rage Against the Machine. Once again, again, this is one of the songs that I really enjoyed learning because I don't know, the lyrics again were just all over the place. I probably didn't understand them at the time, but of course now looking back in retrospect, I do. That beginning, feel the funk blast, and then there's that whole guitar solo, and then it's kind of has like a hip hop rapish sound, which was something I always liked about Rage Against the Machine. They were able to combine the two. I be walking God like a dog, my narrative fearless. My word war returns to burn like Baldwin home from Paris. Here's my favorite part. Like steel from a furnace, I was born landless. This is the native son, born of Zapata's gun, strolled through the shanties and the city's remains. Same bodies buried hungry, but with different last names. These vultures rob everything, leave nothing but chains. Pick a point on the globe. Yes, that picture's the same. There's a bank, there's a church, a myth and a hearse, a mall and a loan, a child dead at birth. There's a widow pig parrot, a rebel to tame, a white hooded judge, a syringe in a vein. And the riot be the rhyme of the unheard. Oh, man. Listen, listen. Zach De La Roca, man, he could put some lyrics together. Damn, that's some good shit. That's some really good shit. I love listening to that when I'm lifting something really heavy and I start to kind of, play the air guitar wherever I am and people stare at you. That's their problem though, man. I don't care. Yet I can't play the guitar worth the cactus's private area. But no, this is one of my favorite songs, man, for sure. Um, One of their best songs too, for that matter. Moving on. Uh, okay, moving on is a song that has always held again a special place in my heart. And it's funny. This song came off an album at a time in 1996 that a lot of people were down on this group. They would say, "But they cut their hair. They're not the same band anymore." Give me a break. Will you please? Like some people just never, always trying to find a way to nitpick shit, man. It's ridiculous. Great lyrics, very underrated album. I'm talking about Hero of the Day from Metallica off the album Load, which was released in 96. I mean, again, another one of those songs that every time you hear it, I have to play it. Oh, they try and break me. The window burns to light the way back home. A light that warms no matter where they've gone. They're off to find the hero of the day. But what if they should fall by someone's wicked way? Still the window burns, time so slowly turns, and someone there is sighing. Keepers of the flames, do you feel your name? Did you hear your babies crying? Listen, I think that in life, things happen for a reason, no matter what they are. And this song is, I can't imagine another band singing this song other than Metallica. Like Metallica's sound is Metallica's sound, and their songs belong to them. Just like so many other of the greats that we've talked about, whether it's Typo Negative, whether it's Stone Temple Pilots, anybody else, no one else could duplicate that, or should they? Excuse me while I tend how I feel. These things return to me and they still seem real. Now, deservingly, this easy chair, but the rocking stopped by wheels of despair. Don't want your aid, but the first I make for years can't hold or feel. No, I'm not all me, so please excuse me while I tend to how I feel. You like the pause in there, right? I like that too. I love this song, man. Very underrated album, Load. And again, this came at a time when they kind of changed their look and everything. So what, man? They're still the same band. Or, they were, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Like, what is it? You have to, like, shit on people because things change. I mean, oh, man, I don't know. I don't know. I can't, I never get it. But without a doubt, one of my favorite Metallica songs of all time. Now, getting to the next song, you heard the intro uh, when we came into the show, and this is by far one of my favorite Typo Negative songs of all time. From what I feel is one of my favorite Typo Negative albums of all time, World Coming Down. A lot of people kind of felt that it was very dark and very deep, and perhaps it was in terms of lyrics, in terms of the creation and what was behind it, but this song just always holds a special place in my heart. 11 minutes long. The lyrics are just phenomenal. There's that wonderful break and change in the song. And, I think that, again, the wonderful thing about Peter Steele, like I said in the last episode, and the wonderful thing about Typo Negative, of course, I said in 2 episodes or 3 episodes before that, was that they had their own sound. And when you were able to relate to this stuff, it meant so much more to you. She thinks I'm Iron Man, that I don't feel pain. I don't understand why joy must be feigned. I'm so fortunate you're filled with self hate that the mirror shows me and in great. And again, I you could always kind of see where he's talking about in terms. I guess it was kind of like self pity and feeling bad for yourself, or maybe whatever the case may be, being hard on yourself, which is totally understandable. I could easily start pointing fingers, since the blame is mine. It always lingers that the truth that lies in my reflection. Though this can't go on, there's no question. Yeah, I know that my world is coming down. Listen, man, if you're feeling down, I don't know. When I was feeling down, I would listen to this song. I don't know why. For some weird, strange reason, it always made me feel better. I don't know why. The best part about this song, I think, comes that there's that break, of course, and the direction of the song changes. How quickly past the days, long is the night, lying in bed, awake, bathed in starlight. Better to live as king of beasts than as a lamb, scared and weak. Best part. I will deny my role as a human, holding myself hostage with no demands. It's better to burn quickly and bright than slowly and dull without a fight. And then comes that dun dun Josh on the organ there, the piano thing there. Well, and starts out. Oh man, it's one of the best songs of all time. If you had the luxury of seeing them play this live, it sounded so much better live because they would never cheat the song like certain radio play used to do and try and shorten it. I hate that shit. Play the song for its duration or don't play it at all. One of their best songs by far. Moving on to the next song on our list, or on my list for that matter, is by far one of my favorite songs by this band. One of their most memorable songs by this band. A song that never gets old no matter what. Every time you hear the intro, you know you have to leave it on. Again, it's probably one of those standard 90 tunes that has just will live on no matter what happens. And I'm talking about Man in the Box from the great Alice in Chains. One of those songs that we all learned to sing really at a young age and had curses in it. So it was really cool to say it with meaning. I'm the man in the box, buried in my shit. Won't you come and save me? Come and save me. And a phenomenal part, which always kind of like, I don't know, shocked the shit out of me, yet mesmerized me. Feed my eyes, can you sew them shut? Jesus Christ, deny your maker. He who tries will be wasted. Feed my eyes, now you've sewn them shut. I'm the dog who gets beat. Shove my nose in shit. Bump, 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 bump. Won't you come and save me? Save me. The wonderful thing about this is the lyrics, there wasn't too many lyrics going on, but it was the way that the song was performed to kind of have them spaced out in certain areas, which made that so much more better. So again, just going to show a genius on their part that you could have something with limited lyrics and just have it spaced out in certain areas, and therefore making it wonderful. And of course, the overall combination of that wonderful band this made it one of the most kick-ass songs of all time. I never get tired of this song at all. I don't think anybody else does. And again, I don't think you have to be a Alice in Chains hardcore fan to appreciate it, although you should be. Facelift was just such a badass album, man. So, that being said, Man in the Box on the list. And moving on. Okay, listen, man. It wouldn't be right if I didn't have this gentleman on this list because I'm a huge fan of this gentleman. Okay, I'm a huge fan of his movies. I'm a huge fan of his music. I was a huge fan of his videos. I was a huge fan of his drawings. He's one of these rare artists that we're so lucky to have, who is just extremely creative, extremely knowledgeable, extremely artistic, and extremely his own being. You want to laugh? Just a quick story about this artist. So, I don't know how many years ago, I had this ex girlfriend who said to me that she and the girls were hanging out one evening and they needed a movie to watch. And primarily, they wanted to watch something scary, something horror. So, I recommended what better than the great House of a Thousand Corpses. So, anyway, that night, I get a call, I don't know, later on that evening, and she said to me, "Don't you ever recommend another movie as long as I know you, because my girlfriends got freaked out by this 50 minutes in and we had to shut it off. Hence be why we are no longer together, because you and your friends are flakes. Okay? How could you not dig House of a Thousand Corpses, which in my opinion is one of the best horror movies of all time, directed written by the great Rob Zombie. How could you? I mean, I love his stuff. I love Devil's Rejects, man. Again, he's his own dude, man. His music was absolutely kick ass. And if you've ever been to a Rob Zombie concert, you know what I'm talking about because it's like watching a horror movie live. If you've never been able to see him, please go and see him. It is all kick ass, man. There's so much history in his show. Sometimes they'll have, like, in terms of the great horror movies from Universal, whether it's, I remember when I saw him, he had a poster of Frankenstein, the Bride of Frankenstein. There was the Mummy. There was the Creature from the Black Lagoon. I remember when I saw him at Jones Beach, he came out dressed in Michael Myers costume a little before his version of Halloween came out. Phenomenal, man. And he has a kick-ass band. John Five is a kick-ass guitarist. He puts on a show, man. So I'm talking about one of his greatest hits called Living Dead Girl, which always held a special place in my heart and still does. Rage in a cage and piss upon the stage. There's only one sure way to bring the giant down. Defunct the strings of cemetery things with one flat foot on the devil's wing. Oh, do I love this song, man. Never gets old. Never gets old. Raping the geek as hustling the freak like a hunchback juice on a sentimental noose. Operation Filth, they love to love the wealth of an SS whore making scary sounds. Wow. That's a lot of shit going on right there. It's got a lot of stuff going on in that song, man. And then it's very interesting. Cyclone Jack, hallucinating hack, thinks Donna Reed eats dollar bills. Goldfoot's machine creates another fiend so beautiful, they'll make you kill. Ugh. Crawl on me, sink into me, die for me, living dead girl. If you've never seen the videos to this song, go and watch it. I believe this song is also in Bride of Chucky, right? When I forgot what the Jennifer Tilly's doll is being created or whatever. But whatever the case may be, phenomenal song from a phenomenal album from a phenomenal artist who just keeps on kicking ass. Very intelligent guy. If you've ever seen an interview with him, very well spoken, very calm demeanor, doesn't think much of himself. Something I always really enjoyed to see from him. And now he's directing his version of the Monsters, which should be awesome, man. Because I really dig his work. Like I said, I like his wife a lot. I mean, like there's like not they're the perfect combination, man. So, Living Dead Girl definitely makes my list. Funny thing about all these artists is I could, I could have individual lists of each band that I've named with 10 songs per each, but we try to break it. I try to break it. I keep saying we. There is no we. It's just me doing this, man. Anyway, that was the list for today. And again, this list is of 10 great songs with great lyrics to them. And from time to time, I will be having other shows that will cater to 10 other songs that have wonderful lyrics. And we all know that there's so many of them, all from the 90s especially. I just want to give a real shout out to everyone who has listened and everyone who's listening and everyone who's giving me a thumbs up or following. I really appreciate it, man, 'cause this is something I love doing. The 90s music is just something that's forever special to me and always has held a special place in my heart. For long, I wanted to do something like this, and now I'm blessed, humbled, and thankful to get the chance to do it and hopefully entertain you guys. That being said, there was a young lady. Yes, you're a young lady. She doesn't think she's young, but she's a young lady who this past weekend gave me some very nice compliments about this podcast. And I want to say thank you so much to her. She's a wonderful human being. I am blessed, humbled, and thankful to know her. Like I said, all things happen for a reason, and she's a gem of a human being and a person. Thank you very much to you. You know who you are. That being said, I will be coming back at you pretty soon. As I said, I like to keep banging these episodes out one by one with a lot of content. And I would love to hear from you guys. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. And even if it's, something that you don't like or a negative, hey, man, it's all good. I totally dig it. You're entitled to your opinion. Hit me up, let me know how you feel about things. Let me know what your 10 songs are that lyrics you enjoy. But that being said, this is the Beast, and I am leaving the cave. I got to try and get outside and get some vitamin D. Perhaps find a small animal to feast on. Be well. Later.